had friends that were the Hellraisers, and this was kind of a Hellraiser type of little group we had, and at least that's how the police described us. But we had Mom and Dad were in sleep, so we didn't get out. And this is 1963, a Buick Riviera had just come out. Okay, so what we did is we got out the carport, and I said, now, when you open the door, immediately put your foot on that thing and turn the car light off. And so, and then we did, we put the car in neutral, and we pushed it out from the carport, and they never heard us. And we got down the road, and we happened to have one person that was 16 that had a driver's license. And so, all right. What happened was that we were going to go skinny dipping in a friend's new pool. They were building a house, Sherry's house for nights. So we went on, dropped off to go get the other person. And our friends that were driving the car with all these towels and everything in there to go skinny dipping. Well, they made the mistake of going and parking at the local high school while we picked up the rest of the people. Well, of course, the cops came up and they asked him, says, well, what are y'all doing? And he shined the light in the car and see all the towels and stuff. He says, well, we're going to go to the beach and we're waiting for the sun to come up. About that time, the rest of us walked up and they went, oh, God. That's it, man.
That hasn't been Durain Fleece or what?
Yeah, Durain.
Was it Durain?
Durain Fleece, Sherry. Janet Connell, and she was the oldest, and she was, the five of us that got arrested, she was the only one that got a whipping. You know, she was the oldest. But they hauled us all down to the police station, and they said, well, we're going to call your parents to come get you. And I said, well, hey, my parents can't come get me, I got the car.
Yes.
So anyway, they called up the house and they said, Mr. Davis, you need to come down to the police station and get your daughter. And he said, I beg your pardon. He says, my daughter is in bed asleep. And they said, well, would you like to go look? And so he put the phone down and went back. And the screen pushed out the window, nobody said, they're letting the mosquitoes in everything. He says, I'll be right there. Well, they called him back, the cops about 5 or 10 minutes later, and he says, I don't have a car. He says, yes, sir, I know, it's right, the parked out here in the front. And so finally, Sherry's dad came to pick her up, and he was a local farmer. And so they released me into his, to his care. And so Sam had to bring me home. And so he brought it up and I said, listen, y'all got to come in and meet Mother and Daddy because I don't want to meet them by myself. Spread out so they won't be so angry right at first. And so we all come in. Well, Mother and Dad had these like robes, like one was his and one was hers. Well, in the confusion of having to get up unexpectedly in the middle of the night, they come walking out, and Daddy has on the hers, and mine has on his. And the hers only went right here, and it was like there wasn't too much to know about this, and so that was the beginning of realizing that maybe my delinquent aspects were